Today's generation of young men have it force-fed down their flipping throat that they are part of the weakest generation in history. And although there'll be a lot of evidence to suggest that, I actually have an opinion that might be completely the opposite. I'm gonna get warmed up, do my first set here in the gym, and then I will explain to you why. So I'm still very much in my rehabilitation, but the bandage is gone. So I'm actually wearing shoes. So my idea behind the fact that young men probably get it forced down their flipping throat that they're, Gen Z now is the weakest generation of men in history. And if we look at the actions of men in the macro, I can kind of understand that. But if you are in that generation of young men, I want you to take this message. The fact that that paradigm may be true and may be the case, it gives you the opportunity to significantly easier than ever before separate yourself from the crowd. The amount of discomfort that you have to embrace and accept and move through, the amount of exercise that you have to do, the way that you approach life, the bar has never been set lower. So you have the opportunity to rise up that flipping social ladder and that kind of dominance hierarchy of young men in this generation with less graft than ever before. And speaking of embracing discomfort, that is exactly what I'm going to do now with a push-pull legs tricep. So today's session is a little bit of kind of like whole body, heavy cardio in a way, basically just a full body, all systems as I call it. So push-pull legs tricep to start with, and then a little bit more aerobic to finish off with. So I'm going to do some Bulgarian split squats. That seems to be easier on my ankle, and my balance has always been fairly okay on this exercise, allowing definitely that eccentric portion to be a bit slower and more controlled, which is kind of pivotal when you've just had surgery. So 10 reps each side for that. I'm then going to do some seated shoulder press for the push movement, and then for pull-ups, I'm actually going to do some split grip pull-ups. One hand over, one hand under, drop down, change around and go again. And for me, that's just a nice little change. I do a lot of vertical pulling, and sometimes it's nice to mix it up. So 3 rounds of that, let's go. That's 2 rounds done and in the bag. So I released a video last week, basically with the sponsoring underlying message being that optimism is a choice. Rational optimism isn't a feeling, it is a decision. It is a lens that you can elect to look through life with. And in a similar vein, today's message is that there is an unbelievable opportunity in the fact that your entire fucking generation is grossly underestimated. People expect less. They think you're weak, they think you're lazy. If the whole world is telling you that the people in your age bracket are goddamn snowflakes, you have a choice, you have a decision. You can elect to be pissed off and offended, or you can elect to recognize the grand opportunity to set yourself apart from your peers. And the bar has never been set lower. You have a chance to be fitter and healthier and more articulate and more learned than a greater proportion of men in history that happen to be in your generation. The situation itself remains the same, reality stays the same, but it is a reframe in the way that you look at it. It is the acknowledgement and recognition that there truly is great opportunity in the fact that you are ignorantly underestimated by men and women that are older than you. Right, that's enough rest. 2 rounds done, 1 more to go, let's go.
It's looking bleak, there's blood in the streets. A treat for the freaks, the feet in the beast.
3 rounds done and dusted in the bag. That'll be it for that round. I'll be moving on to the slightly more cardio part in a minute. So guys, I've said that this is the greatest opportunity of your lives. It's to climb the ladder and set yourself apart from your peers because the bar has never been set lower to do so. But what exactly does that look like in practicality? How can you execute on that plan? For me right now, I would suggest to you as a younger man to practice and to develop yourself in 3 different areas. Number 1, consistent and congruent with obviously this channel. Become as fit and healthy as possible. Exercise truly is the world's greatest meritocracy. You cannot outsource fucking hard work. You cannot outsource effort. That is why when you see men and women with certain performance metrics and a certain physique, obviously genetics come into it, but the fact of the matter is, it's admirable because it is a demonstration of hard work. The second thing, moving a little bit away from fitness now, but you can kind of keep it in this paradigm, is to learn as much as possible, to assimilate as much information as possible, and even attempt to sit with 2 conflicting ideas. In the health and fitness world, guys, one of the things I say a lot is when people ask me about different thoughts or current contemporary cultural fads and infatuations with nutrition, and my response is usually the same. When you have 2 people that both have PhDs and they can't agree on the conclusion of the same research paper, we're never gonna fucking know. But that being said, developing the ability to hold 2 conflicting and contrary ideas and opinions at the same time, and at least see things, see the possibility of something else existing outside of the paradigm of what you think is true, is incredibly beneficial. And the third and final thing that I would encourage each and every one of you to do is to develop your ability to communicate as eruditely and articulately and concisely as you can. The spoken word communication in this way is unfortunately a little bit of a dying art form. And for me, developing my ability to communicate as articulately as I can has always been something that I've enjoyed and has always stood me in good stead in whatever environment or paradigm you may want to enter into. More of that in a second, guys, but for now, on to section 2 of the workout. Okay, so section 2 of the workout. This is not the pace I'm going to be going on the bike, do not worry. I'm going to do a 30-minute workout on here, so 30 minutes on the assault bike, nasal breathing as much as possible, copying my lovely board cameraman. And happy International Bald Day. Is it today?
It's today.
It's
well,
today.
Bold is beautiful day now.
Bold is beautiful day. Happy International Bold is beautiful day. So, 30 minutes on here, guys. Every 3 minutes, however, I'm going to get off. I'm going to do either 4 muscle ups or 4 L hang pull-ups. So underhand, legs being held straight out. And I'll alternate into how many butterfly crunches? 15. So as an example, if that took me 50 seconds, I'd then have 2 minutes 10 back on the bike. I'm gonna emphasize this now, guys. This is not the way that I would normally execute this kind of workout, where it would be flipping gung-ho, but it is incredibly hot, incredibly sweaty. My ankle, I know if I start to push, then I'm gonna fucking kill myself and re-injure myself. So I'm using this as an opportunity to practice, again, like we spoke about in the last video, to practice some things that I may have neglected. As an example, nasal breathing. So we shall see how we get on with this, and commence.
I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. React if you have to, Don't know the time, just know that I'm, one of a kind, What's on your mind, What hard to find, Beautiful mind, Still in my prime, Just know that I'm here. Too many nights, Not feeling right, Too many nights, Not feeling right, I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. Too many nights, Not feeling right, Too many nights, Not feeling right, I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside. It's not insomnia, really. I'm not a zombie, a thriller. I'm moving calmly but iller, not playing party Attila. I ain't been partying either, been at the Garden of Eden, just drinking water and eating. It's probably not what you're thinking, but I hardly been thinking. I feel like hardening season. I know that's hard to believe in, and that's just part of the reason. I'm catching up to you because you waiting, you sleeping. I feel like hardening season. I feel like hardening season. Too many nights, not feeling right. Too many nights, not feeling right. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside. I can't be still inside, still inside, still inside.
And home, sweet home, we are here. That is section 2 and the final section of the workout done, guys. That is the main linchpin of all of it. And before I sign off, I just want to say that I really do truly flippin' stand by what I was saying earlier. It has never been easier to elevate yourself into a more elite cohort of young men in this generation. I have genuinely, and this is not just a flipping pseudo YouTuber comment, where I'm like, people have reached out to me and said X. I have genuinely had young men that have reached out and said, I've always had a dream to do X, usually something to do with the military, but the way that society seems to see young men of their age has created this internal narrative of their own where they basically believe they are incapable of doing anything of fucking value. So train, learn, speak. As we spoke about earlier, train, fairly linear, fairly obvious, go to the gym, make sure that you are as fit and healthy and robust and resilient and as able as you can be. The second one, learn. There are ways to do this. If you are watching this video on YouTube right now, the chances are you are in a more elite and proactive substrata of young men than you might even be giving yourself credit for. But investigate other things as well and attempt to develop the ability to hold opposing views at the same time. Even in the fitness and health sector, right, we've got people with PhDs that can't even agree on the conclusion of the same fucking research. That means realistically, we're never gonna know. But I genuinely think one of the best things you can do to develop your own ability to sense make on these topics is to watch some pro-vegan YouTube videos and also watch some pro-carnivore YouTube videos and just see where you subjectively land, or at least begin to understand how someone can have a certain viewpoint. And the third one, speak. Develop your ability to articulate as concisely and effectively and efficiently as possible. This will stand you in greater stead in whatever environment or paradigm you decide to move into in life than almost any other skill set. I genuinely believe young men's ability to communicate well is a dying art and a decaying skill set. So once again, when the bar is that low, perhaps listen to some podcasts of some intelligent people with a vocabulary and lexicon greater and superior to that of your own, and you will develop an ability to communicate better from that. It has never been easier to not have to put effort into pretty much fucking anything. But at the same time, it has also never been easier to source information that we want from people that we want, literally from the click of a button. Train, learn, speak. If you are a young man, developing those three components of your character and your being will give you a significantly greater head start than you can even imagine. Guys, let's bring this one home. If you did enjoy this video, please do smash that like button. If you haven't yet done so, make sure you subscribe. Any questions or comments or requests on anything, please put it down in the comment section below. And genuinely, the biggest favor that you could ever do me is share this video with someone just like you that you think would enjoy it just as much as you do. Squad, as always, stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.